Hello and welcome. My name is Stephen. I'm from Rowan College of South Jersey. I'm a career advisor here, and this is one of several workshops to help prepare you for the job seeking process. This one in particular deals with resumes and going forward there. Creating your resume, where do you start? It's a world of the internet, and the great thing about the internet is it provides a lot of templates. It provides a lot of resources to try to figure out where to begin. But the downside of it is it provides a lot of resources, and it's like, which one is good, which one isn't? And the process can be a bit daunting at first, where you're trying to figure out which one will look best for what I'm trying to apply for. Well, I'm here today to give you the basics of what you should always have in your resume at the very least. Your resume is there to showcase your experience, your education, and your skills. These are the three basics that you always want to sort of hit when you're looking through your resume and trying to showcase yourself. It's your best marketing tool out there when it comes to getting in touch with these employers and these companies. It's not often outside of a job fair that you're going to get to meet with them on a one-to-one basis. So making certain that you've done your due diligence in building this resume will be important to you. There are three parts we're going to talk about today. The first is going to be the summary of qualifications. The second will be your education, and the third will be your professional experience. When you start your resume, the very, very beginning, you're going to have your header, which will usually have your name in a big bold print, slightly bigger than everything else, maybe 16 to 18 font, your phone number, one that they can reach you by, and a professional email address, something that's just a combination of your first, last name, and if you need to include a number in there because sometimes we have common last names, by all means. Gmail is recommended. It's a very common one these days, and it's a very sort of industry standard that we see a lot. The first section that we are going to talk about is the summary of qualifications. This section, in particular, talks about your strengths and your abilities, things that you're good at, and things that you might bring to the table to this employer. These do not need to relate to past work experience. So if you're in a situation where you don't have too much work experience in that field, it's okay. Consider the things that you are good at and the qualities that you bring to list here. These are going to be listed in bullets, generally pretty short statements. You don't need to use any pronouns in this. They are just statements about you, such as strong analytical writing and research skills, or you are a sharp, quick learner. As I said, they're sometimes pretty simple. A bonus tip for this section is to try to tailor this to the position you're applying for. The more you match with their interests in this first section, the more interest they will read. It's a small tip, but it can help you in the long run. The next section is your education. This deals with highlighting what your current educational level is. If you are currently working with a high school diploma or working on a high school diploma, I've got an example up here for you to see where it will list the name of the school or the name of the university if you're about to start college, what the degree is in or what its major is, and when you expect to finish it. These are details that they really need when they're seeing this. If an employer mentions they are looking for a certain degree level, you want to make certain that you show that you have it if you do. If you have done well at a school, gotten any awards or any accolades, or if you're part of a leadership position in a club, you would list it beneath the school that you got it from. Now, this is the biggest section usually in your resume. It becomes the biggest as time goes on, your professional experience. This deals with a few questions in mind, but the first thing to make clear here is that professional experience covers volunteer experience, internship experience, and paid experiences. All of these things can fit under that umbrella term. They're going to be listed in chronological order. So your most recent experience should be listed first, followed by your least recent experience. The questions you want to ask yourself were, what is your title, or what was your title when you worked at a place? Who did you work for, and where are they located? How long did you do it? When were the dates? Month year to month year, or month year to present, depending on the nature of your work. And what did you do there? Your responsibilities, skills that you may have practiced while you were there. These vary, but there's a few things you want to consider when you are doing these. First, you always want to start with a verb. Verbs are active, They're actions. They give you movement and possession of the task you're doing. Second, you want to be short and sweet. You don't want to be too long with these. They're going to be in bullets. People are not going to read a paragraph. And lastly, a person who may not understand should be able to get a base level understanding of what you mean. So you don't want to use too many terms that may be unfamiliar to a layperson or a person who may not know much. What I've got up here are two experiences. One's past tense, one's a present tense experience. They show you some examples of how you might describe your experience. You can use the internet to see what other people say. It's a really good resource to get you thinking. There are 4 C's when we talk about resume writing, 4 sort of things you want to consider after you've finished this process and you're doing that checkup at the end. Always revise your resumes. You want it to be clean. Does it look presentable? Everything the same text? Is it easy to read through? Is it consistent? Did you use the same font size? Did you use the same format? Don't change your format midway through. Is it concise? Is it to the point and readable? Or does it take some time to understand it, and do I have to read it a second time to understand? And last but not least, is it convincing? Are they won over by your explanation? Did you do your best to tailor your resume to what you're trying to get? If there's anything that you take from this presentation, how relevant your resume is to where it is going is key to helping you stand out. What I have here is if you need more help with your resume after this presentation, feel free to reach out to us. I've included my email there. You may email me. With that, that should cover the basics of getting your resume together for the job fair. Remember, this is not going to be a long piece. Try to see if you can stick to 1 page. But if you need further assistance, my contact information is listed below. And we'll see you at the next workshop.